Social entrepreneurship is a global phenomenon. Social entrepreneurs use business and commercial strategies to improve well-being by reinvesting their profit in the business and community. Such practices are key to long-term development, including reaching the Global Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, by countries they are active in. In Vietnam, 68% of social enterprises work on poverty reduction, 43% on environmental sustainability. In Canada, 45% operate to achieve a cultural purpose, 26% work toward employment development, and 27% focus on the environment. In Australia, there are more than 20,000 social enterprises, constituting around 3% of the GDP, while 18.1% of Senegal's population is social entrepreneur. In the Middle East, around 30% of all business plan submissions are social enterprises. In Indonesia, 80% of all initiatives are small-scale businesses, while in the UK, women and those from minority ethnic groups are more likely to lead such initiatives. In Malaysia, in spite of its national Blue Ocean strategy, about 21% lack adequate funding. Amir is a Malay social entrepreneur. For 6 years now, he owns a cottage industry in the multi-ethnic rural Malaysia, where he grows chili and produces local chili paste. His aim is to improve the livelihood conditions for the village hosting his farm through the employment of single, local Malay women with reduced work and financial opportunities, like Nur. Nur is a 23-year-old single mother with 4 children. She has been working on Amir's farm for the last 2 years. After the loss of her husband, she became the sole breadwinner of the family. Out of the income of the cottage industry, Amir pays Nur and other employees the average wage in Malaysia. The amount helps Nur to buy her daily food products from the local market for the family. It also helps her buy school supplies and uniforms for her children, being able to send both girls and boys to school equally. In spite of these individual successes, the livelihood of the village does not seem to improve. The general poverty level has remained the same, and Amir's cottage industry seems to be resented and rejected, especially by the Indian and Chinese villagers. If his business strategy is correct, short-term impact is positive, and his intentions are honourable, why are the long-term results different from the hoped ones? The answer needs to be sought in the diversity of assumptions, perceptions, and messages Amir's social enterprise unintentionally generates in the village hosting its activity. Amir purchases from foreign wholesale suppliers the needed chili seeds, chemical fertilizers, and pesticides at a reduced cost. He assumes that the use of foreign supplies will ensure superior products to the traditional ones, bringing in more customers and more revenue. In the end, he would have more financial resources to reinvest in his Malay workers and support the entire community. In his efforts, he omits that some Indian villages have experience in composting and basic permaculture, and some Chinese families have good supplies of organic Malaysian chili seeds. However, Amir's targeting and procurement is perceived differently by many villagers. Employing only Malay single mothers in a high-poverty community is seen as discriminatory, dividing the community by ethnicity, gender, and social relations. Procuring resources from foreigners eliminated local suppliers from the production chain, lowering the credibility of Amir's enterprise as local opportunity provider. In the end, Amir's enterprise was seen to reduce livelihood opportunities on a discriminatory basis, and to offer little to no return of benefits to the village as a whole. While Amir's intentions were honourable, his strategy and practice was lacking context sensitivity. This resulted in a chain of unintended negative effects between its enterprise and the host community, making its impact unsustainable. Working in a context-sensitive manner ensures that social enterprises understand the context they work in, the communities they serve, and act according to this understanding. It boosts the benefits of their projects through reducing the probability and costs of unintended negative effects between their work, the context of their work and their beneficiaries. Context sensitivity highlights and clears unchecked assumptions linked to these interactions, raising the awareness and ability to prevent negative effects hindering the sustainability of impact. How can you create a conscious, context-sensitive practice for your social enterprise? Number 1. Have a thorough and direct knowledge of existing sensibilities before you engage in a community. Base your practice on that. Number 2. Invite representatives of the whole community into your planning and design process, not only those of your immediate target group. Number 3. Use local knowledge, skills, and in-kind resources when and where available. Outsource only where there is an acute lack in the community. Number 4. Build easy-to-use, reliable, and trusted feedback and complaint mechanisms into your practice to ensure that community feedback can reach you. Number 5. Provide functioning remedy mechanisms so the community knows their voice was heard. Number 6. Use lessons learned to shape your organization's internal culture, infrastructure, and resources along the lines of a community-conscious practice. If you wish to explore your organization's context sensitivity profile, please visit the following link.